Hello and welcome to another episode of the Halloween podcast. I am your host, Lyle Perez, and you're listening to episode 53 of our special series, The Dark Record, where we uncover history's eeriest stories, one strange and unsettling case at a time. On the morning of April 2nd, 1978, the quiet community of Belle Island, Newfoundland, was rocked by a thunderous explosion. Windows shattered, electrical systems failed, and the blast was heard for miles in every direction. To this day, no single explanation has satisfied everyone. Was it a natural phenomenon, a secret military test, or something stranger? The next entry into the dark record, the Belle Island boom. Let's begin. It was just before noon on April 2nd, 1978, when the people of Belle Island, a small community off Newfoundland's Avalon Peninsula, were startled by a sudden and violent blast. The sound was described as a thunderclap unlike anything they had ever heard, louder, sharper, and longer lasting than any storm. Windows rattled, dishes crashed from cupboards, and houses shook on their foundations. In the villages of Bickfordville and Lance Cove, residents rushed outside, believing a massive explosion had struck somewhere close by. The damage was real and immediate. Several homes sustained electrical failures. Television sets shorted out, wiring was scorched, and light fixtures blew apart. One chicken coop was destroyed, and the unfortunate birds inside were killed. Residents also noticed 3 small cup-shaped depressions in the snow near the apparent center of the blast. For many, these strange markings seemed like the footprints of something that had struck from above. Witnesses also spoke of strange visual phenomena. A young boy riding his bike claimed to have seen glowing spheres in the sky moments before the blast. Others reported flashes of light, though their descriptions varied. Some said it looked like lightning, others like a massive electrical arc. Whatever it was, it didn't behave like the storms they were used to. The noise wasn't confined to the island. The boom was heard more than 60 miles away in St. John's, and was powerful enough to register on monitoring stations as far as Ottawa. Newspapers quickly labeled it the Belle Island boom, and speculation about its cause began almost immediately. What made the event so unsettling was not just its volume, but its mystery. No plane crashes were reported, no industrial accidents had occurred, and no explosives had detonated nearby. The island was shaken, but there was no clear source. Even the government seemed at a loss. Officials dispatched scientists from Los Alamos National Laboratory to investigate, but their presence only fueled rumors. Why would American scientists travel to a remote island in Newfoundland unless something extraordinary had happened? For the residents of Belle Island, the boom became more than a startling moment. It became a mystery woven into the identity of their community. Some recalled it with fear, others with fascination, but all agreed it was an event unlike anything they had ever experienced. The blast had left scars in the snow, fried electrical systems, and questions that lingered long after the sound itself faded into silence. When the shock faded and the headlines spread, scientists began searching for an explanation that could account for the power of the Belle Island boom. Theories ranged from the extraordinary to the ordinary, but some evidence quickly pointed toward natural causes. One of the strongest explanations is that the boom was caused by a superbolt, an exceptionally powerful form of lightning. Unlike ordinary lightning, which discharges thousands of volts, a superbolt releases energy magnitudes higher, often many times brighter and more destructive. These events are rare but well documented, and they are capable of producing explosions that can damage property, kill animals, and fry electrical systems. The charred wiring and destroyed televisions on Bell Island were consistent with the effects of a massive electrical surge. Scientists from Los Alamos National Laboratory, who arrived within days of the incident, noted this possibility and gathered data to support it. Another candidate is ball lightning, an elusive and poorly understood atmospheric phenomenon. Witnesses on Bell Island described luminous orbs in the sky, floating near the time of the explosion. Reports of ball lightning often feature glowing spheres that appear during storms, sometimes hovering or moving erratically before fading or exploding. While science has yet to pin down exactly how or why ball lightning forms, many researchers consider it a plausible explanation for the strange lights seen during the Bell Island event. There's also the possibility of a lightning strike interacting with the island's unique geography. Bell Island's rich iron ore deposits might have influenced the electrical discharge, amplifying the effects and creating unusual energy patterns. Some researchers speculated that the ore could have acted as a conductor, helping to generate the intense electromagnetic surge that damaged wiring and electronics. Adding weight to the natural explanation, the event was detected by American Vela satellites, which were designed to monitor nuclear detonations. The sensors registered a burst of energy consistent with an atmospheric discharge. To the scientific community, this was further evidence that the boom was likely an electrical event, not a bomb, not a secret weapon, but nature flexing its muscles. Yet, even within this framework, questions linger. The weather on April 2nd wasn't typical of a violent thunderstorm. The day was relatively calm, making it difficult to square the damage with the usual conditions that produce the lightning. Still, rare phenomena often defy expectations, and the unusual doesn't have to mean the supernatural. In the eyes of scientists, the Bell Island boom was most likely a rare, natural occurrence, one that combined extraordinary atmospheric energy with local conditions to create an explosion that felt almost otherworldly. But for those who lived through it, the scientific explanations didn't erase the strangeness. If anything, the unanswered details kept the door open for speculation.
Do you love the strange, the unexplained, and the downright terrifying? Horrifying History takes you on a chilling journey into the dark corners of the past, where history and horror collide. From haunted places and ghostly legends to unsolved mysteries and terrifyingly true stories, you will uncover the twisted facts that history books leave out. Who were the real monsters behind infamous legends? What dark secrets lie buried in the pages of history? Every episode, we reveal the eerie truths that will send shivers down your spine. Are you brave enough to face the darkness? Horrifying History, available now wherever you listen to your podcasts. But don't wait for too long. The past might just come looking for you. Listen if you dare.
Despite the scientific explanations, the Bell Island boom quickly became fertile ground for speculation. For many residents, the arrival of American scientists from Los Alamos National Laboratory was as strange as the event itself. Why would experts from a U.S. weapons lab be dispatched to a remote island in Newfoundland unless something highly unusual or secret had taken place? Their presence fueled rumors of hidden knowledge, and the theories multiplied. Some believe the boom was the result of a weapons test gone wrong. The Cold War was still simmering in 1978, and talk of exotic energy weapons was common. Rumors suggested the United States, or perhaps even the Soviet Union, was testing electromagnetic pulse devices, sonic weapons, or directed energy beams. The electrical damage on Bell Island, The fried wiring, destroyed TVs, and blown fuses seem to support this theory. To those inclined toward suspicion, the government's vague statements and quick withdrawal of investigators looked less like transparency and more like a cover-up. Others looked to the skies for answers. Reports of glowing spheres before the explosion fit neatly into UFO lore. To some, the luminous objects were evidence of alien craft or unexplained aerial phenomena. The timing of the lights with the boom, coupled with the odd depressions in the snow, suggested to believers that something had descended from above. UFO researchers quickly adopted the Bell Island case as one of Canada's great mysteries, citing it alongside sightings in Shag Harbor and Falcon Lake. Then there were the more elaborate speculations that the explosion was connected to secret high-voltage experiments conducted elsewhere, possibly transmitted through the atmosphere or via natural energy pathways in the Earth. These theories, often involving mysterious government projects, argued that Bell Island had been unintentionally caught in the crossfire of scientific experiments beyond public knowledge. In truth, much of this speculation grew from the vacuum of information. No official cause was announced. The presence of Los Alamos scientists remained poorly explained. And when natural explanations like lightning failed to satisfy every question, why no storm clouds? Why such widespread electrical damage? Theories filled the gaps. The media played its role as well. Newspapers, radio shows, and later television documentaries leaned into the mystery, often emphasizing the more sensational possibilities. A quiet Canadian island suddenly had an international reputation for being the site of something extraordinary, whether natural, technological, or extraterrestrial. What made the Bell Island boom so ripe for speculation was the same thing that made it so frightening for those who lived through it. It seemed to defy easy explanation. And when science doesn't provide certainty, stories of conspiracies, weapons, and aliens often step in to take its place. For all the intrigue surrounding the Bell Island boom, a skeptical look cuts through much of the mystery. Start with the most extraordinary claims: secret weapons tests or alien intervention. These are compelling because they play on Cold War paranoia and our fascination with UFOs. But extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and none exists here. The idea of an American or Soviet weapons test, while popular in rumor, runs into practical problems. Why test experimental energy weapons on a small island community in broad daylight, with no attempt to conceal the results? The electrical damage and craters in the snow could easily be explained by a lightning strike, not the precision of advanced technology. And while Los Alamos scientists did visit the site, their presence doesn't prove a conspiracy. At the time, Los Alamos was home to researchers studying high-energy physics, including unusual lightning phenomena. Their expertise, not hidden agendas, may explain why they were dispatched. As for UFO theories, they are even harder to pin down. Yes, glowing spheres were reported, but ball lightning or St. Elmo's fire could account for such sightings. Both are rare but natural events associated with electrical storms, and both match the descriptions given by witnesses. The human mind, confronted with the unknown, often reaches for extraordinary explanations, but rare natural events are often mistaken for the supernatural. The most consistent explanation is the superbolt hypothesis. Superbolts are rare, exceptionally powerful lightning strikes capable of generating explosive shockwaves and electrical surges over wide areas. They've been measured as up to 1,000 times stronger than ordinary lightning. The satellite detection of a massive energy discharge on April 2, 1978, supports this theory. The fried wiring, blown televisions, and electromagnetic effects on Bell Island align perfectly with what a superbolt could cause. The depressions in the snow could have been impact points from secondary discharges, not evidence of extraterrestrial craft. Skeptics also point out that the lack of a major storm doesn't rule out lightning. Atmospheric conditions can sometimes produce localized discharges without traditional thunderclouds. In fact, rare events often occur precisely because conditions are unusual. What we're left with is a story that likely has a natural explanation, but because it was dramatic, poorly understood, and never fully explained, it invited speculation. The Bell Island boom endures because mystery is more captivating than science. For those who want answers, lightning feels too ordinary, but for those willing to look closely, it provides the most consistent, evidence-based explanation. In the end, the skeptical view doesn't erase the strangeness of that day. It reminds us that the natural world is capable of awe-inspiring events, powerful enough to level chicken coops, shake homes, and frighten communities into believing the impossible. When I think about the Bell Island boom, what stands out is how a single moment can ripple outward, transforming into legend. For the people of Bell Island, the explosion wasn't abstract. It was lived. Their walls shook, their televisions blew out, their animals died. The fear was immediate and real. Yet as the years passed, the story became something larger, a mystery that outsiders dissected, debated, and sometimes sensationalized. What strikes me most is how this mystery lives in the gap between experience and explanation. Science offers a strong candidate, a superbolt, perhaps amplified by the island's unique geology. But that doesn't erase the strangeness of what residents felt and saw. To them, the silence before the blast, the sudden destruction, and the glowing spheres defied the ordinary. It's easy for skeptics to say lightning, but harder to dismiss the awe and confusion of those who lived through it. The Bell Island boom also shows how quickly uncertainty invites storytelling. Government scientists arrive, say little, and leave. Reporters emphasize the dramatic details. Before long, the community is at the center of a narrative about secret weapons, UFOs, and conspiracies. It's not that people are gullible, it's that we crave meaning, especially when confronted with something frightening and unexplained. For me, the lesson of Bell Island is that mystery doesn't always mean conspiracy. Sometimes the natural world is stranger and more powerful than we expect. A rare bolt of energy from the sky can leave behind wreckage and wonder in equal measure. And when explanations don't arrive quickly enough, myth moves in to fill the silence. The boom may have been lightning, but its echo is legend.
Do you love the strange, the unexplained, and the downright terrifying? Horrifying History takes you on a chilling journey into the dark corners of the past, where history and horror collide. From haunted places and ghostly legends to unsolved mysteries and terrifyingly true stories, you will uncover the twisted facts that history books leave out. Who were the real monsters behind infamous legends? What dark secrets lie buried in the pages of history? Every episode, we reveal the eerie truths that will send shivers down your spine. Are you brave enough to face the darkness? Horrifying History, available now wherever you listen to your podcasts. But don't wait for too long. The past might just come looking for you. Listen if you dare.
That brings us to the end of episode 53 of The Dark Record. We've traced the mystery of the Bell Island boom, from the homes that shook and the televisions that sparked, to the scientists who arrived in search of answers. For some, it was evidence of weapons tests or UFOs. For others, it was a rare but natural phenomenon. An electrical event so powerful it felt like the sky itself had detonated. What endures is not just the damage it caused, but the way it lingers in memory, unsettling, unexplained, and forever debated. Remembered, retold, and now added to the record. Next time, we'll travel to Washington State, where in 1994, a strange gelatinous substance fell from the sky. Was it the residue of military experiments, toxic waste from above, or a bizarre quirk of weather? Next up is the Oakville Blobs. Until then, I'm Lyle Perez, and this has been the Halloween Podcast presenting The Dark Record. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps keep the show alive and weird. You can also explore sources, extras, and more at our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Halloween Podcast or at our website, thehalloweenpodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Keep your eyes on the shadows, and remember, when the sky speaks without warning, the truth often hides behind the noise. Have a good night.
Do you love the strange, the unexplained, and the downright terrifying? Horrifying History takes you on a chilling journey into the dark corners of the past, where history and horror collide. From haunted places and ghostly legends to unsolved mysteries and terrifyingly true stories, you will uncover the twisted facts that history books leave out. Who were the real monsters behind infamous legends? What dark secrets lie buried in the pages of history? Every episode, we reveal the eerie truths that will send shivers down your spine. Are you brave enough to face the darkness? Horrifying History, available now wherever you listen to your podcasts. But don't wait for too long. The past might just come looking for you. Listen if you dare.